I'm going to talk about a little different topic than usual, that is pediatric ACL reconstruction. We thought thinking about talking about pediatric ACL reconstruction is there now because we have been getting these type of patients, and all of us will be getting because children are getting more and more active. So as we all know, we have famous saying, pediatrics, the children are not small adults. They have completely different anatomy, physiology, everything. So one definite thing about children is they grow, they grow and they become man, and the differences, and they are becoming more and more active these days. Our schools are very competitive. They have extracurricular activities, and these type of outdoor sports are becoming very, very common. It's not like our days. And when this type of sports comes in, then this type of injury also come along. So it's high time we should start talking about pediatric knee injury. So this is the paper published in Pediatrics Journal, and it says that ACL tear in school-aged children and adolescents over 20 years. It's rising, see? As we progress from 2005 onwards, the rise is high. So it's going to be endemic in near future. So as I've already told, children are not small adults. They have physis. We should preserve them whenever we do some surgical reconstruction. And this is different from adult where there is no physis. We can drill anywhere we want, but in children we have to be careful. These are physis. ACL tear in pediatric population, options are many. In literature they say do non-operative till they become mature, till the physis are closed, then do surgery. Operative, there is treatment, but this is very controversial, but I think these days the consensus is there that if we delay the surgery, just like in adults, there will be secondary injuries like meniscal injury, cartilage injury. So if you are delaying the definitive treatment for about 5 to 10 years, then that patient, that children is going to be having bad result. These are all the good quality researches which shows that early reconstruction or early surgical intervention is better. Who knows, out of those patients who you are seeing, they may be one of Neymar, Ronaldo, these all patients, these all footballer, if they had ACL tear or something injury during that period, they won't be Neymar and Messi of today. So we have to be careful with our patients as well. So reconstruction techniques are many. Extraphyseal, pure extraphyseal, where there is no tunnel. All epiphyseal, well, there is tunnel, but it passes through only the epiphysis. We are not violating any physis. Then there is transphyseal. You just drill through the physis, that is in tibial side, but it is still extraphyseal in the femoral side. And there is the technique where you go all the way transphyseal both in femur and tibial side. When to do that technique? McIntosh-Darby technique, that is all extraphyseal techniques, that is done for Tanner 1-2 stage, more than 10 years of age, more than 10 years, 6 years growth is remaining. And if children are less than 10 years, maybe I should say it's less than 6 years. Anderson-Lawrence, all epiphyseal technique, if the patient is prepubescent, Tanner 2-3, more than 10 years, 3 to 6 years growth remaining. Partial transphyseal, less than 3 years growth remaining. And transphyseal, if there is Tanner 4-5, more than 13 years, nearer less, only 1 year of growth remaining. This is one of our case. He was, I think, almost 14 years when he presented. This was his knee X-ray. He presented with ACL tear. Sorry. Yeah, this is his clinical examination. Active sports by. He injured his ACL when playing football. So this was his MRI. There is no ACL. ACL is torn. One guide is do AP X-ray of hand. If the distal physis is closed, then you can go all transphyseal, both in femoral and tibial side, because almost this is the guide that his or her growth is finished. So this is very important thing. And our preferred technique is all epiphyseal. This is how we do. Okay, and this is the result after he came to me after 8 months. And this is the animation. I'll be showing this animation, what we do. Yeah. We make the tunnel, all epiphyseal tunnel, and we make two tunnels, small tunnels in the tibia. That is also extraphyseal. And we pass the thread, and we get the graft, pass one limb of the graft, pass through first tunnel, then second tunnel of the tibia, and there will be fixation like this. So same thing in this picture, this video. It's not playing, sorry. So this is result. And this is how it looks. See, the tunnel is all extraphyseal after about 8 months' time. So this is another patient, 4 years. Right side, some procedure was done. So I think he had some patellar instability. The left side he had hyperextension is there, range is full, and relaxity is there. So it was a sort of congenital absence of ACL. Patient was 4 years. So what we did, we harvested the ITB, almost 14 centimeter. We made second incision, if you can see here, second incision right at the top where the ITB was dissected transversely. And it was taken out. Yeah. So this was then prepared, and the femoral over-the-top position was identified, and the graft was passed through over-the-top position and brought forward and passed through intermeniscal ligament and was sutured there and sutured in anterior femoral tibial cortex. This is how it looked. It just looked like the normal ACL. It is ITB. So this is for younger patient where you need all epiphyseal technique. And this is the stability what we got after ACL surgery. Perfect stability. Patient came to follow up, I think 1 month back. He's very good and he's very stable. So things to consider when we do pediatric ACL is, there is growth remaining. We should be very careful. Do not violate any physis. Surgery should be tailored according to the physis status. It's not almost always, it's always soft tissue graft. Bone graft should be avoided because if you put bone graft in the physis, you are doomed. If transphyseal, make transtibial vertical tunnels because these patients are going to grow. And if you put horizontal tunnels, if physis has been violated, then eventually the graft will stretch and there is more chance of failure. So try to make it more vertical, like over the top, like we used to do earlier ACL surgeries. Avoid using implants, and when you do vertical drilling, the physis injury will be less. If you do angle drilling, the more of the physis will be injured. If you do vertical, less physis will be. Metal implants should be avoided altogether. Try to avoid implants through physis. Graft ligamentize, but it becomes more vertical as patient grows, that child grows. You have to counsel patient that you may have future ACL tear may be there, and this is just a temporary procedure. Length increases, but ligament won't increase. Width does not increase, only length may increase. And many of these pediatric ACL tear, in today's context, they say that lateral extra-articular tenodesis should be added because they are even higher risk of failure than the adult population. So LEAP 2024 recommends the LET procedure in pediatric population as well. So a high chance of re-rupture in future, that has to be counseled. Take-home message, ACL tear is increasing in pediatric population. We should be very careful. Surgical management gives better results. So just because they are kid, just because physis are open does not mean that we should delay surgery. Do not delay surgery. Surgical techniques should be tailored according to various parameters. So my final message, children are not small adults. Deal with them carefully. Thank you.
Congratulations, Dr. Vivek. I want to ask one question. In pediatric, it's very rare ACL injury that we encounter than adult. So how early and how late they come to you? And what is the clinical manifestations when they come? I think they come with the parents. So how they land up?
Usually pediatric population come late because even parents also think that this is a simple injury, and when they come, they come with instability. They have difficulty going into same sport, so they come to us, and when we examine, they have ligament injury. So it was not that common, but these days we are seeing more and more common, the ACL tear. I think we all will be seeing them because as we all know, our schools, they are become very competitive, and even our kids, they start playing football, volleyball, ECA. Even my kid, 6 years old, he is into ECA, football and everything. So injuries might happen. So we have to be prepared.
Yeah, very true. It's
Vivek,
becoming.
you deal.
Can I ask? Children sports are becoming very, very common nowadays, so we're likely to get those cases. One of these slides, I couldn't follow many technical part. You showed two tibial tunnel and going through, so I couldn't understand how did you make that two tibial tunnels going up?
We put ACL zig, sir. It's just like making two bundle over the tibial side. We put the tibial zig, and the entry point over the tibial anterior tibial cortex, we can move like this, and second tunnel like this. So there may be almost about 5 millimeter of gap between two tunnel. Angle depends upon the extra. You have to use intraoperative fluoroscopy. You have to avoid the physis. So whatever angle is avoiding the physis, you have to use it. Usually lateral view has to be taken because the lateral in tibia, the physis goes like this anteriorly in tibial tuberous. So you have to avoid that. Just at the angle where the physis goes like this, that is the point where you should
have enough bone stock.
Yeah,
you feel
yeah,
there.
yeah. If sometimes you are not successful making two tunnels, no need. You can just make small tunnel, like in the femoral side, and get the graft along, get the thread into that, get the loop of thread, and pass it with. You can tie it over this post as well. That is another technique we have done.
Do you use flip cutter while making the tunnel in the children? Flip cutter.
No, we have not used. But one thing is we should use CM. CM should be used. Physis has to be avoided. Flip cutter we have. Maybe that is also a good idea, but we have never used.
Hi, Vivek, one question. So, as the boy is smaller, the bone stock is smaller because you're being working just in the physis, no? So, do you consider just doing it more simpler, like without putting any implants or just tying things like that? Because the boy bigger, then you can go through physis, but when the kid is small, then you have very small bone stock.
Yes. That is what the all epiphyseal technique that I have described, where 6 years growth is remaining. That is all, that is implantless. We just take the ITV, pass through the over-the-top position, and we suture the tendon with some periosteum over there, and pass through over-the-top position, get that graft under the intermeniscal ligament, anterior to the tibial cortex, and suture it with the anterior soft tissue only. No ligament.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Vivek.
Thank you, sir.